clown, honey?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Steven here, aka Wild Eye Guy 85, here to do another review. This time it's for the, okay, hopefully I say this right, Lycanimator, like werewolf, and animator, kind of like the Reanimator, it reminds me of. I just got this today, finished watching it. Runtime was 1 hour. Now, when it comes to my reviews, totally honest, I don't bullshit anything. I tell you what I think about it, if it's worth watching. And as for this one, I'll go ahead and read the back. And it does have its pros and cons, which I'll get to in just a minute. A group of friends break into an abandoned house for a weekend of partying, only discover a mad scientist in hiding, who just happens to need subjects to try out his new monster making formula. When some of that serum turns one of the group into a hungry, murderous werebeast, all hell breaks loose and everyone is on the menu. Alright, so yeah, basically what it says there starts out with a narration about how, like, some sort of creature or werewolf was discovered back in the 1500s that led to, like, legends and horror movies, and there's probably some truth to it. There was this mad scientist in this house who he invented this formula, of course, uh, and he mixed it with different DNA and possible werewolf, and he ended up using it on himself, and that's how the house gets abandoned. He ends up, you find this out later on. It kind of flashes back. He like goes on a killing spree, ends up killing himself, and his formula is still locked down in the cellar. And we cut to the present. Like I said, the runtime is an hour. One of the cons. It's good for the Wild Eye Raw and Extreme. Of course, you got your gore, your nudity, all of what you expect from the Raw and Extreme. And on that, I did enjoy the gore in it. There were some good kill scenes as the creature. Uh, it's kind of, you'll see in the trailer, it's kind of a mix between a werewolf and I don't know what else, but it's kind of slimy, and it's kind of almost like a swamp thing type of creature or werewolf combination, is the best way I can explain it. Kate Phoenix is also in this from Clownado, Wrestle Massacre, and I forget what others. You can always look her up, but it's always good seeing her in these Wild Eye movies. The acting was alright. Some of it better than others, as it always is. So this group of friends, a couple of them are more on the good side. They don't drink or party or anything usually, and that's Kate Phoenix character and her boyfriend. And they end up going with her friend, who she's known since like elementary, and the bad boyfriend who like drinks and wants to party, do drugs, that type of thing. On their way to this house that they rented or plan on staying, they know about, like, they heard about the murders and stuff, but they don't really believe in anything crazy about it. That's what uh, the one boyfriend, the bad boy one, is talking about. It's kind of funny because when they're in the car, it's like total blue screen. Like, you can tell they're not going anywhere. So that was a little cheesy there. Stuff I've done in TV productions in high school, even with the blue screen. But it was funny to watch, they're traveling and it's showing the same stretch of highway. And then there is some of them actually in the car on a road. And on their way, Kate Phoenix character, I forget her name offhand, but I'll tell you when I bring up the Internet Movie Database. She stops and hits the brakes, and because the one boyfriend is hitting on her, or just trying to like fight in the back seat. They're not getting along, and there's some old man that randomly starts banging on their door and going crazy, saying, that asking where they were going, needs a ride, and when they tell him they're going to the Phillips house, he tells them that they shouldn't go there and that they're going to die. Don't go in the cellar, or blah, 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 all the warnings. And of course, they don't listen anyway, and they end up leaving him and going to the house. He was the caretaker, and he knew of stuff that was going on. As for it, it could have been cut shorter, even though it was an hour. Kind of like how in Amityville Clown House, how there was like extended scenes of like pointless stuff. That we got parts where the old guy, he wants to help him, and he's just walking through the woods, knocking trees down, hanging on stuff, uh, going to the bathroom. It was really pointless. Like, okay, what's the point of just walking? And then there was another one where the guy was dreaming the assistant in a flashback that he took the formula or was changing, and literally, no lie, for like 6 or 7 minutes is just showing him start to change, some flashes of like Frankenstein and Wolfman. I don't know if they were like scenes from actual movies or like knockoffs of it or whatever, but I was just watching this, and it's just the showing the same thing for like 5-6 minutes in different flashes, and I'm like, okay, this is dragging on. I almost wanted to just fast forward through it, but I didn't want to miss anything, in between. And it was just him having a nightmare that he told in one of his recordings that the girl's fine in the cabin. She's listening to this, and it's being reenacted as she's listening to the tape. So while they're there, they start drinking, and the one friend is getting them all drunk, and they don't usually drink, and he takes them down to the cellar to try to find more drinks, and he's force feeds him some sort of greenish liquid. And Kate Phoenix is all pissed off because she passed out and she woke up what was going on. And making the guy drink that formula, he transforms and he goes on a killing spree. And the old guy, of course, trying to show up for help. I won't tell you who lives and who dies. You'll just have to see it. So yeah, other than it being a little too long in points, it could have... I mean, I didn't even realize it was an hour. Like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, this feels like a really long movie. That's pretty much the only cons of it. Some of the acting was... but like I said, the perks, the normal Wild Eye, raw and extreme, everything you expect. The gore was good. The creature was interesting. At one point, it was kind of weird. The first one that it showed, it looked a little too fake. The second one looked a little bit better, but it was, like I said, like a mix between a slime creature, werewolf, which you'll see in the trailer. But yeah, definitely, I mean, check it out. Besides those couple of cons. Oh, there was one point also, I don't know if it was done intentionally. And of course, Wild Eye distributes these movies, and it's always on the filmmakers. Wild Eye just wants to help filmmakers get their movies out. But again, with the sound, when he was like, after he drank that formula, you know how in some movies it shows like the inside of their body or a future scene where they're transforming? It does that in that movie, and it starts to show flashes, but there's no sound to it, no music, no effects. Then back to that. So I don't know if that was intentional, like meant to be silent, or if it was an audio issue. So that's it. This is getting kind of a long review here. But it is worth checking out. Stay tuned for the information on Internet Movie Database, followed by a trailer. For those of you who are on my Twitter, Wild Eye Guy 85, same as here. Thanks for all the new followers. If you haven't followed this channel and you're a fan of Wild Eye, feel free to subscribe and keep up with when I do my reviews. And if you're new to the channel, do the same. Hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time. Alright, here's the information on Internet Movie Database for Lycanimator, kind of like Reanimator. Runtime was an hour, came out in 2018. Felt a little bit longer than that, but anyway, it says, Lycanimator is a gnarly new creature feature in the tradition of classic late 80s and early 90s splatter flicks. The story follows a group of friends who go to an abandoned house for a weekend away only to come across a mad scientist with some monster making goo. When some of that goo turns one of the group into a hungry, lustful beast, well, let's just say it spells trouble. Got a 4.2 out of 10, which I'm actually going to agree on that. Like I said during my review, it had its pros and cons. Cast includes Kate Phoenix, plays May, and Joel D. Wincoop plays Niven. Brianna Wyman played Nikki. Again, I apologize for any names that I butcher. Key Hornick is Brian. Sebastian Godin is the lab assistant in Young Nevin. Dustin Hubbard is Dr. Howard Phillips. Toby Johnson is the Lycanimator, Phase 2. Matthew Scott Kimple, Lycanimator, Phase 1. Karina Neves is Allie. Jonathan E. Smith is Jeff. Alberto Giovanelli is Officer Tony Berto. M. Catherine Wincoop is Catherine. Jeff Strand is Dr. Crichton. B.A. Johnson is Ed Crafton. Todd Sheets is Ben. Oh, okay, I didn't know Todd Sheets was in that. Of course, he did Clownado, Bone Hill Road, a couple others. Michael O'Hare is Dr. Croft. Jed Rowan is Sheriff Winston. James Balsomo is Will Wickerson. Giovanni Lombardo is the narrator. Mark Borcott is Spencer Dell Graves. Lucio Giovanelli is Offspring. So there we have the cast. It was directed by Sebastian Godin, who also wrote it, along with 2 others. Dustin Hubbard had the original idea. Sebastian Godin wrote the screenplay. And that is it. So we have the cast, writer, director, the Internet Movie Database rating. I'll go ahead and show you a few pictures. There's some stills from it, behind the scenes and the scenes. A couple posters. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the trailer.
I've made a terrible mistake. Obsession has ruined my life. It has destroyed me mentally, physically. These secrets were never meant to be discovered.
What happened to you? Nikki. Behind you.
This is the police!
God help you and all of mankind.